What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcastle for the first episode in our coverage of Planetbase. This is probably going to be a short little series in which we check out a game that I wasn't aware of until I got an email last night where a number of YouTubers were like, so are you playing Planetbase yet? And I was like, no. And they were like, well, maybe you should be. And when people are demanding like that, I went ahead and I checked the game out, and it's pretty cool. If you've ever played Space-Base DF9, it's sort of like that with the humor removed, the realism ramped up, and then there's actually also a functioning game in there that hasn't been abandoned by the developers. And so if you like colony management sims where you get to like eke livings out of the soil and sort of manage things and survive and make sure that everybody's working to their optimal output, Planetbase is probably going to be a title that you will enjoy. Now, I've taken some time. I did the tutorial. I've played a couple of colonies at this point, not a ton of them, but enough to where I kind of know what I'm doing. And so anyways, we're going to start on off. Check this thing out, though. I found a feature. Add this to the Steam features. If you press page down, it'll change the planet in the background. Didn't even know. I guess you can do page up. Does it work? No, it doesn't. It's just page down. So anyways, this looks like a planet where everybody would just have swamp ass all the time. It would just be hot constantly. This planet looks like the place where you would film a Mentos commercial. Seems like it would be cool out here. Maybe there'd be wampas around or something. This one looks like, I don't know, it's probably going to be on the front of the brochure for Nurgle. It's all green and plague-ridden. Either way, enough observational joking for right now. Let's go new game. We got to pick a planet to go to. Unfortunately, I haven't done any of the achievements to get any of the later planets, so we got to start with the accessible planet. That's okay, though. I like it when my planets are accessible, when they have a good press kit, when they know how to get in touch with me. The ones that are hard to get a hold of, I don't like those planets anyway, so they can go back where they came from. Class D here. We've got a medium-sized desert planet with a thick CO2 atmosphere, which partially protects it from meteors and solar flares. The light amount is high. Atmosphere density is high. Sandstorm risk is pretty high. Okay. Solar flare risk is low. Meteor risk is low. And then we need to name our base here. I'm going to call it Space Base Chase because it rhymes, and it's the only thing that I could come up with for right now. I don't know. This episode brought to you by Chase Banking Solutions. You might, if you're going to get a sponsor, you might as well go for one that's got deep pockets, right? I figure, who's got deeper pockets than banks? Let's start the game off. We get to majestically watch all of our astronauts come up out of their little space plane for right now. Out of their little space balloon. Go ahead and land. Yes, stretch your legs. I realize it's been probably like a 950-year journey. Probably been on our way out to this planet since like the dawn of human time. I'm like, well, we left in 2011. It's like 3040 right now. Somehow we're still relativistically young. It's all good. It's sci-fi. It's all science. I don't know how to explain it. It's all good. They've got different colored suits to correspond with the jobs that they do, and then we've also got some little HAL helper bots around here who hopefully don't go all AI stir crazy and murder us. So we landed on the planet at 8 in the morning. That's really, really good because if you land at like, you can actually land at night too, and it's super, super weak, and it will make you sad. I need to slow the game down real fast. You can do that with the plus and the minus keys. So anyways, we need to get started because you don't have a lot of time to play with right now, and so you kind of want to get stuff done before nightfall gets here. And the first thing that we really, really, really want to do is we want to put in an access area to our base. So we got to make an oxygen generator, and you can do that. Let's take a look here. I actually like this area. So the oxygen generator can go right there. Sounds good to me, and they should just jump in and take care of that while we talk. So the first thing you want to do, all your structures are in here. So you click this, and then there's interior structures, and there's exterior structures. And you really want to hustle at the outset of this thing, because if you don't get the certain prerequisite things done before nightfall, everyone will suffocate and die to death horribly. And so everything in this game, what you'll notice is your base becomes like this big serpentine tunnel as you play. You do that by clicking on the two structures you want to link, and then it'll make like a little walking pad in between the two of them. Very, very cool stuff. I need people to be working on this right the hell now because it is already 11 in the morning, and we need to have everything up and running by about 7 o'clock at night. We've got to be self-sustaining. So the next thing that we need, in order to get our O2 generator up, we have to have an oxygen extractor. I'm sorry, a water extractor. Water extractor, I'm just going to plant you right there. Sounds good to me. We'll link it on up. On top of the oxygen and the water extractor, now what we need to do is we need a power solution because none of this stuff can power itself. So I'm going to make a battery over here, which I think will be all right. And on top of the battery, we're also going to make a solar panel that should begin gathering up all the resources we need in order to get functioning sooner rather than later, which is really sincerely what I would prefer. So there it is right there. I think I can link this to like multiple things though. Oh, I can put it right there. Well, hell. Let's put it... Yeah, that sounds alright. So in this game, things don't have to be directly connected to any of the things they require. We got meteor landings coming in too. Oh, you guys better hustle. You guys better hustle. It's hour 12 right now. It is 1 o'clock. We have very, very little time to get this done here. I'm going to speed the game up real fast. And hopefully they will get all of our constructions done before anything else goes wrong. Go ahead and get those up and running. And I'm going to try and get the battery filled up as well before nightfall gets here. You'll see there that it's already starting to suck stuff out of the soil. What do we need to build things? So let's go ahead and have a look here. You've got a number of resources. You've got food, you've got metal, you've got plastics, and then you've also got medical supplies and spares. Those are going to be important later on. Right now, they're not super important, but they will be. Don't worry. Next thing we want to do is, I hope that fills up with enough electricity before the end of the day. I don't really need that right now. I'm pretty sure I know how this all functions at this point. Water extractor is doing okay. We've got oxygen inside of the base. So what we want to do for right now, my base is probably going to build out in this direction over here. I'm probably going to have it curl around on both sides. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. I clicked the wrong thing. Leave it up. Leave it up. Okay, so I disabled the thing. Oh my god, that was my bad. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I almost suffocated my whole colony because I pushed the wrong button. So what we need right now is we need a canteen. We need a place where people can go to get meals so that they don't starve to death. And so I'm going to put that right there. We'll go ahead and link it on up on that side. We're going to have to build stuff inside of here too, like little tables, sexy little, I don't know, I've got cloth table mats, I've got napkins. We can do all kinds of fun stuff. If you look inside of here, you can be a voyeur and you can see that they've gotten outside of their suits now. And the airlock door is actually open, and for some reason that's not murdering everybody. Oh, never mind, there's a secondary door right there. I was going to say, I feel like we may have run into an issue here. Yeah, sometimes it takes them a while to get outside the airlock, so later on we'll probably start fiddling with further airlock improvements. But for right now, I'm just going to build some small buildings and get things going. I apologize if it feels like I'm moving very, very rapidly. The reason that I'm doing so is because you have precious little time when you first start out to get like these 5 buildings built, and if you time it wrong, like look, it's already nighttime, and then at night our solar panels do not generate electricity anymore, and that becomes a super de-duper-de unfortunate circumstance when everybody's inside your base like, hey, I'm breathing, but it doesn't feel like I feel bad. Like, you know that thing you take for granted when you breathe every day and nothing bad happens? Well, something bad is happening. I'm breathing right now, and it still feels like I'm suffocating. I don't think these two feelings correlate. Issues. And next thing you know, you've got a mutiny on your hands. We're all gonna die. It is what it is. Weirdly enough, we're still generating electricity, so that's, I really hope none of those meteors hit me, or at least that we get some kind of like Skynet protection system. Can I raise the brightness at all? Doesn't look like I can. I was gonna say it's a little bit dark on my screen. Luckily their little shoulder pads glow like they're at a laser tag tournament or something, so I figure it'll work out. But you've got 27 and 25. Keep an eye on your resources in this game. It can get out of control very, very rapidly if you don't just like watch them carefully. The next thing that you can do once you actually have a habitat is you can also recycle this, which will give you some extra parts. There's a big old stack right there, and you'll see that that jumped us almost like plus 15 on every single thing that we needed, so we didn't get any meals out of it or anything. Weirdly enough, there are no edibles parts of the spaceship. They didn't make any of the filters out of gushers. Surprisingly, none of the floor tiles are made out of potato chips. Oddly enough, so not really going to help us that much. This connection needs to be made right here. One thing that you should pay attention to is you should have a look at the oxygen content of every area. You want it to be 22% for every single location that humans are going to habitate inside of. Alongside each one of these guys, let's take a minute. Oh, that one was too close for comfort. It made a land sphincter. That was horrifying. So we've got our robot right here. CNT2. Who named this guy? Oh my god. That's an unfortunate name for a robot. He's a real awker, that one. Who else do we have? Benito Sosa. Cool. Tiffany Montegaza. We've got Dr. D.T. Frankza. We've got Sung Hisyan. We've got Cal May. Okay. Will Cal do it? Cal May. We've got, who else in here? We already got Frank Sosa. Okay, so I think I got just about everybody already. There's a couple of people inside, and you can actually hit the tab key if you want to remove the roofs so that you can observe a little bit better. But what we need to do for right now is we got to add some things to our dining area. And so I'm going to click on this, and we need a table so that people can eat meals. And so I'll probably make one of those right now. It only takes 1 bioplastic. I'm going to go a little bit light on things for the moment. We've also got a food dispenser which we can put in here. It makes me sad that I can't get this flush with the wall. It makes me a little bit upset. My little OCD demon inside of me is like, why can't I put this up against a wall? I'm gonna put, in order to make maximum use of the space, I'm gonna put in a water fountain right there too, so that they can drink and so that they can get things done. We also need to put in a video screen, as I recall from the tutorial, so that depression will go down, or like their sadness or whatever. They need diversion as far as I know. And so if I put that in right there, they should be able to... Actually, I'm in deployment mode right now. I was going to try and rotate so you guys could see this a little better. There we go. And so if we rotate, the screen should be in a good spot. I hate it when I go to like a pizza place or like a restaurant, like essentially a sports bar, like one of those places where they're supposed to have like, oh no, we might run out of water before I get this done. Oh no, they're only at half water. It's only half dehydration. That's nowhere near as bad as full dehydration. So anyways, that's actually a killer pair of suspenders right there. He's rocking it. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I hate it when I go to like a diner, like a sports bar or something, where like the TV is a big part of the whole thing, where they got TVs all along the walls, and you've got like an obstructed view of like the sport that you want. Like you can't watch hockey. All you have a view of is like a football game with two non-local teams that you don't give a shit about. And you're like, come on. I want the hockey game, or at least give me like the Giants game or something. Like put something on the screen that somebody from my region would care about. Like nobody here cares about the Cubs. No, I'm not trying to insult Cubs fans. Don't get me wrong. You guys are true fans. Believe me. Cubs fans, I respect the hell out of Cubs fans because you got to have heart to be a Cubs fan. So anyways, what I'm saying, oh, look at that. She's filling up on water. Oh, that's going to take a while. Damn, save the whales. That's what we used to say when I was in like 4th grade and somebody was on the water fountain for too long. You'd be like, save the whales. I could probably put in another one. I mean, that would probably... Oh, we got to get a dormitory hole. Did I leave this on, like, maximum speed? Why is this going so quickly? We need a dormitory. They'll probably just sleep in the hallways if I don't do one. But we could put the dorm out this way. That sounds good. Put the dorm, like, on the side of the canteen, like, right here. Get it to loop around a little bit. Yeah. Sounds sexy to me. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll stack some beds on in. We have a number of issues that all need to be resolved, like, right this second. Hopefully nobody dies of dehydration. I told you I'm not very good at this game. Send the robots. They'll do it. I'm sure the robots can finish it. Hey, man, are you sure you want to do that? Because you might die before you get there of dehydration. Can you die of sleepiness? Hope not. Come on, everybody. Get her done. Finish it off. Everybody pitch in a hand. Yo, ho, ho, ho. A pirate's life for me. There we go. He's getting his water now. That'll help out. These guys all need to sleep. So we may have, like, a extended period of people just, like, blacking out on us in the next day or so. How come nobody else is helping? Is it only like the engineers that help out with this? Either way, BuildyBot, get it done. Go ahead, BuildyBot. I believe in you. BuildyBot, I love you. And then inside of here, oh, it's going to make me recycle it first. All right, so the dormitory is up and running. Survival has been reached. One day after landing, your people are still alive. My people, and a glorious people that they are. A glorious people. Are we stuck right now? How do I leave this screen? Oh, I think it just, like, displays for a while. I got confused for a minute. We need beds, like, really, really badly. So let's go ahead. How much do these cost? They cost us 1 bioplastic. I'm just going to build 1 bed for now. Because that should... I don't know. Maybe I should do... No, don't do that. Maybe I should do 2. Do we want to do 2? Is there enough oxygen in here out of curiosity? Like, why is it still all red? Oh, it's just because placement. Okay. So the bed should be done in just a minute. I'm going to do 2, even though I feel like that's probably ill-advised. We need all of our plastic for later on. And at this point... There we go. Enable the structure. At this point is when things start to get a little bit hectic. We got to start making decisions as to how we want to live our lives and how we want people to survive, because meals are dwindling, so are resources. So we want to get some things up and running that will allow us to at least propagate for a little while, or at least multiply our resources. Bioplastics come from starchy foods, and so I actually read about that somewhere a while back, where you could take the husks of like rice and corn and the chaff or whatever that you can't use, the waste material, and you can turn it into bioplastics. And so that's where we get that from. We have to make a little cookery area, and so let's do that next. We have to make an area where essentially we can... Is that a food preparer right there? That's a meal maker. Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for. We don't have anything that can make meals, though, so we may have to wait this one out. Let's go ahead and take an interior structure. And what we need for right now is not a biodome. It's going to take me a second to look at this right here. Oh, never mind. It is the biodome. Okay, so let's make the biodome. I'm going to take it up in size slightly, I think. Well, let's keep it small for right now. And I think I'll probably put it as an attachment to here. Sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I really have no preference. I'm just going to freeform build. And whatever works is going to work. You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of person that plans things out and makes like a pretty base with like the powers over here. And then we've got the pretty little sleeping area. Note, I've got all the Art Deco paintings up on the walls. Yes, very, very beautiful. Very expensive as well. It took me a while to get this set up. I hope that you have an appreciation for the decoration time that I spent. I'm not that guy. I'm like, let's just throw this up. You should look at my house right now. It's just shit laying everywhere. Carpet hasn't been vacuumed in like a decade. I'm like, I'm a renter. It doesn't matter. It's not my property. Let's see here. You've got to give, like, renters some vested interest in what they do. I mean, I guess the deposit's cool, but the deposit's already been paid. Like, that's already money that's been gone for, like, years. I'm like, oh, well, it's a bonus at this point. I mean, you know they're going to nickel and dime you on the deposit anyways. I've never had, like, a legitimate landlord who came into the apartment and was like, everything is okay here. They always nickel and dime you on dumb shit after you move out anyways. They'd be like, yeah, I found like the 13th carpet ruffle from the left of the wall in the spare room. I noticed that it was a little bit turned over to the side like somebody had stepped on it. And so I went ahead, I charged you an $85 surf fee. We're going to go ahead, surcharge. We're going to do half the room in new carpet right there. I'm also going to charge you for the seam in between the old carpet and the new carpet. I hope you don't mind. I'm like, yeah, just whatever. I just don't want to live here anymore. That's fine. Just don't bother me any further. You're no longer part of my life. Just walk out. Walk out and never look back. So we're doing pretty well right now. If we could get some veggies up and running, I think we're going to be pretty strongly aligned for not long-term survival, but at least for short-term survival. I mean, I'm not super good at this game, so I don't really know where we're going with all this. In general, his sleep is getting a little bit. Kendra Welch. Okay. What are you guys doing? Dr. D.T. Franksa. You can call me Dr. D. Because I'd be bringing that vitamin D for you all day long, space colonists. So I assume that we don't have any gravitational issues here. Yay, we've oxygenated our little biodome. So let's go ahead and I'm going to close I'm going to press the tab key to get rid of the roofs right there. We're going to take this. And I think we should probably go with something starchy, but we just need food up front. And so slow production, low maintenance. Biologists maintain this, by the way. So just be aware that that's kind of a hydroponic vegetable pad. We can go with onions. I love onions, so let's do some onions. And then we've got a lettuce pad. So these are all high maintenance right here. Well, maybe we'll go lettuce pad. A medicinal pad. Oh, that's pretty cool. So we can grow opium and we can have drugs so that we can all be super high in space. You know, how do they talk people into doing this mission? You know what? I would do it, though. If they selected me, they're like, listen, you want to go to Mars and live inside a badass dome and just, like, hang out there and wait for something to catastrophically fail so that we can make a movie about you by Michael Bay. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It sounds like it's better than what I got going on here in the bay right now. Sure. Go for it. It actually looks like we may need another oxygen generator, or at least we might need a further attachment right there. Because oxygen flow looks like it's getting lower. I don't know if this is done by proximity or if it's done by actual holding volume of each of the locations. If it's done by holding volume, or is it just having trouble? Because I think it's producing less oxygen right now. Grid consumes 1.5. Oh, that's not the oxygen generator. I'm sorry. This is what we need to look at. So why is this at 21% right here? Is it because I have too much volume? It might be. Generates oxygen for 20 people. It may be due to the fact that we need the oxygen for plant production too. And so biologists should be on top of this, I think. And what it'll do is it'll add a new thing on the side right here that'll tell you how many veggies you have. I'll probably go all in on... Let's go for a couple of rice pads too, because we're going to need the starchy vegetables to get things done. And so that'll be fine right there. That seems like it'll work. I think we should have enough biologists to maintain... That's like, it would probably take you maybe 10 minutes a day to water and maintain all those. Maybe like an hour, hour and a half if you were going to be clipping plants and like making sure that they're growing really, really satisfactorily. Maybe. The next thing that we're going to need, we're almost out of resources, so we need to be careful about this. It's going to be an exterior structure, and it is a mine. And so we need to place a mine in the mountains like so. And if you place the mine in the mountains, actually it connects to right there. That's a little bit odd. Okay, well, I didn't expect that, but sure, whatever. I mean, connect all you desire. Makes me happy. So I guess we'll go in like so. And that seems to be functional. I didn't really want the mine to be attached to the main complex, but hey, it'll work for right now. That'll start generating a little bit of metal for us if we can go and make an exterior structure. Actually, is it an interior or an exterior? There's like a materials fab around here. Yeah, there it is, the processing plant. And so there's like a material fab. I knew it was in here somewhere. I'll probably... Oh, we're going to go in this direction. Why can I not go in that direction right... I want to go in this direction. Fine, I'm going to go in this direction then. You guys don't contain me. You don't tell me what to do. And so there's the material fab right there. We can make it bigger or smaller as need be. But for right now, I think that need be is more of like a need see. And so we'll put it in like so. And then we'll connect that right there. Let's keep an eye on our oxygen levels, however. I just want to make sure... No, it looks like it evened out. I think we should be all right. We built a few more components right here. And a biologist should be on top of this. I think they come in every now and again and they just like check on it and they do like a bunch of little hand motions. Essentially, it's biologist voodoo. I don't really know. Yeah, there it is right there, like shum shavai, shavai, and then the plants grow. It's weird that such a scientific operation relies so ridiculously heavily on witchcraft, but you do what you gotta do. You know, we need interior lighting. That's what I'm noting right here, is that our interior lighting solution is not oh, I should probably... before we run out of power here, let's build a wind turbine real fast. Because I had held off on that, but our battery power is actually getting kind of low. It might be due to the fact that I'm just like rocking shit too hard right now. The sun will be up in like 3 hours anyways. So if this runs out, we should be... Yeah, there it is right there. It should start to fill up momentarily. I'd like it too if this thing rotated, like later on. I don't know, the game's in development right now, but it'd be super badass if you could see the sun rotating around the planet and this thing actually followed it. I remember I watched a survival program about that one time. It was like it was a lightweight Discovery Channel kind of bullshit science program about surviving. But anyways, they built a solar panel, and then one of the guys rigged up a circuit with a bunch of other stuff. He was an engineer in real life. He was an electrical engineer. He rigged up an actuator arm that would rotate the panel towards the source that gave it the most light all day long. And it was the most legit thing I've ever seen. It was straight badass. It was super awesome. So, oh, we're actually over our grid allotment right now, I think. Okay. It should last. Hopefully, anyways. I can see the power allotment going up, and so it's not producing enough, but what we need is a wind turbine so that at night, we don't end up draining our system. Power storage is indeed critical. But it'll slow down. It'll be okay. I promise. Everything's going to be alright. I need this to connect right here, too. So that we don't all die horrifically. It's going down pretty slowly. We should be able to rock this. There we go. And so now we've got it up and running. So on our solar panel, we are now generating 26 kilowatts. So this should fill up pretty quickly. I would also recommend that once we've got our infrastructure running and our materials fab and everything is rocking it. What do we need in our materials fab right now? A bioplastic processor? Yeah, go ahead and do it. And then we'll also go with a metal processor right there. I don't know what those are going to cost me in terms of our random, you know, material usages and how much they're going to cost us on our power grid or anything like that. But I'm sure it's things that we can adapt to because we've got more than enough stuff going on right now to where I feel like things are stable. Last time I tried to record this, I landed at night. It was the weirdest thing ever. I landed at like the middle of the nighttime and I died like instantaneously. I don't even know if that's a thing that can happen, but it totally happened to me. I started with my bar like mostly full for the daytime, and I didn't have time to get like a power generator up or anything. It was a situation. It made me want to cry. So the mine is attached, and I think that that's producing 4%. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe it's producing 4% of its total volume or something. Either way, should work out. How's our veggie storage going? We have 0 vegetables right now. That's okay, though, because I wouldn't trust something like that. Vegetables always seem a little floppy to me. I don't know if you could build a table out of them. Either way, we're out of time for the day. This is Planetbase. Check it out on Steam. It's coming out in October on the 15th or 16th. I'll see y'all later. Hi, do everybody.